Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi.
And welcome to Adith Emmanuel on this wonderful Shabbat where we have a lot going on. We're delighted that members of our adult choir are here to lead us in music, and that means an invitation for all of us to sing along with them. We are on the cusp of two simchaot, two joyful occasions for Micah Arano and Brick Ross's family, as tomorrow they'll be called to the Torah as B'nai Mitzvah. And tonight is the Adith Emmanuel installation Shabbat. So we have our AFD installation, we have our men's club, our sisterhood, and our board of trustees installation this evening. And so there's a lot to celebrate, plus it's Shabbat, and that's wonderful as well. So we turn now in our Siddur for our opening song, Shir Chadash. Page 3.
A new song. I will sing unto God a new song. Sing unto God and we'll all sing along. All the earth a new song unto God. Shiru l'Adonai kol haaretz. Shiru l'Adonai shir chadash. I will sing unto God a new song.
And we turn now in our Siddur to pages 120 and 121 in the brackets for our candle lighting, followed by our Kiddush. It's my pleasure to welcome the Arano and the Ross families to the Bima to lead us in our lighting and blessing.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Shanu b'mitzvotav,
Tzivanu, Lehadlik ner, Shel Shabbat.
One thing that's really nice as I'm standing with these two families and we just lit these Shabbat candles is to see that these candlesticks are a gift from this year's confirmation class, of which both Carrick and Rachel were part. So thank you. We turn now in our Siddur to page 123. 123, we continue with Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho, v'ahava uratzon, inchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom techila lemikrae kodesh, zecher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu v'harta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodshcha, ve'ahava uratzon, yinchatanu, Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh haShabbat.
We continue now in our Siddur on page 138, page 138 in the brackets, Lecha Dodi, welcoming in Shabbat. And while we're standing, we take a moment to turn to someone, perhaps not the person next to us if we already know that person, but someone in front of us, behind us, across the way. Let's introduce ourselves to one another. If you're joining us through the blessing of technology, please feel free to add your hellos and Shabbat Shalom in the chat or comments at this time so we know who's joining us this evening. And you may be seated. So tonight is Installation Shabbat, and I want to share with you how it's going to be working this evening. We have 4 groups in our synagogue that are being installed, and so rather than have them as one group or 4 speakers in a row, we're going to be weaving in the installations throughout the service. So we're going to invite the presidents, the incoming presidents, to speak, followed by the actual installation and blessing of those who are here in those groups. So it's my pleasure to welcome to the Bima at this time Hannah Foster, who is our incoming AFTI president.
Shabbat Shalom. My name is Hannah Foster, and I am being installed as the AFTI president for the 2023-2024 year. First, I would like to thank Kylie Tallarico for being the best co-president there could ever be. It was truly a pleasure working beside her throughout the last year. I would also like to thank the past board members for all their help and the new board for their support. I can't wait to see what this year has in store for us. I have been a member of AFTI and AFTI Junior since I was eligible in 7th grade. But even when I wasn't old enough for events, I would watch my older brother and his friends go, and I was so excited to be able to go to events just like them. Now, 5 years later, I'm standing before this congregation being installed. AFTI has brought me so many of my closest friends and experiences I will never forget. The past year has been a rebuilding year for AFTI. We gained a completely new board and a new advisor, as well as with the COVID-19 pandemic, which stopped us from being able to hold a lot of our normal events. We spent the last year planning new events and outreaches to encourage other ADITH youth to join. We hosted many different events like bowling, Shabbat dinners, we made cards for Holocaust survivors, and even bringing back our end-of-the-year Hershey trip. While we focused most of this year on rebuilding, we were still able to get great turnouts and have an amazing time at our events. As the new AFTI president and a Jewish teen, I encourage you or your children to join AFTI and experience all that AFTI has in store for you and what you can give back to the synagogue and community through us. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
So at this time, I'd like to invite all the members of the AFTI board to come to the Bima. We rise. The old shall dream dreams, and the youth shall see visions. This saying from our prophets reminds us that when we look to the future, we also look to the youth in our midst. And that is you, our young leaders who hold the future of Judaism in your hands. And you specifically hold the future of AFTI's youth group events in your hands. As we install you tonight, we look forward to the coming year to see what visions you hold and what visions will come to fruition. Do you accept the office to which you have been elected and pledge yourself to uphold and fulfill your responsibilities? If so, please respond with the Hebrew word hineni.
Hineni.
As you have affirmed your readiness with the word hineni, meaning here I am, may you serve the board of AFTI with honor, trustworthy, and dignity, and receive this blessing that we offer to our children every Shabbat. May God bless you and keep you. May God's radiance shine upon you and be gracious to you. May God's presence be with you always and give you peace. And let us all say, Amen. Mazel tov. May be seated. And we turn now to page 146 in our Siddur. So I ask that you please, as you're able, rise. We continue on page 151. Together, as you taught Torah to those whose names I bear, teach me Torah too. Its mystery beckons, yet I struggle with its truth. You meant Torah for me. Did you mean the struggle for me too? Don't let me struggle alone. Help me to understand, to be wise, to listen, to know. Lead me into the mystery. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. We continue on page 157 together. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. On page 161. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, Haporei Sukkot Shalom Aleinu, V'al Kol Amo Yisrael, Ve'al Yerushalayim. At this time, it's my pleasure to call to the Bima Joe Horwitz, our incoming Men's Club president.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, Joe. That is pretty cool. Well, I don't know how I got myself into this. All I really wanted to do was play softball, and next thing you know, Bob Egan asked me to come to a meeting, and guess like my swing and all those game-winning plays, my eyes were closed. So, despite that, I've made some wonderful friendships and have gotten more out of Men's Club than I've ever put into it. Since I'm what is delaying us from getting to Oneg a little bit, I'll try and be brief. Thank you to all the leadership that has paved the way to be here. Thank you to Jack Miller for his service and to the nominating committee for believing I am up to the task. And it certainly won't be me alone. It will be a wonderful and big team, as you can see in your programs. I've already begun to receive quite a few emails, and I'm excited for the upcoming term and the events to come. I hope to see all of you there as a part of Men's Club, Sisterhood, and the congregation. Congratulations to all of our ADIF, Men's Club, Sisterhood, AFD boards, new and returning leaders. Check your mailboxes soon. You will have an application to join our wonderful organizations shortly if you aren't already a member. Our first official event will be stuffing envelopes on July 5th at 6:30 in the Tapestry Room. So for those of you who aren't members, you will be getting an application in the mail really soon. So I look forward to the new friendships that are yet to come from all of our new members, and Mazel Tov to our bar and bar mitzvah, and to your families. Thank you all, and good Shabbos.
It's my pleasure now to call to the Bima all those Men's Club board members. We rise. In the Talmud, there's a passage which talks about certain individuals who serve as the outgoing and incoming priestly watch. Rabbi Chelbo created a special blessing to recite as this exchange of sacred officiants went out and came in. As we install you tonight, we look forward to the various ways in the coming year, through your leadership, you will bring learning, gemilut chasadim, and camaraderie to our Adith family. Do you accept the office to which you have been elected and pledge yourself to uphold and fulfill your responsibilities? If so, please respond with the Hebrew word, hineni.
Hineni.
As you have affirmed your readiness with the Hebrew word hineni, meaning here I am, may you serve the board of Adith Emanuel's Men's Club with honor, trustworthiness, and dignity. And receive this blessing of Rabbi Chelbo. Mi sheshikein et shemo b'bayit hazeh, hu yashkin b'neichem ahava v'achava b'shalom v'reut. May the Eternal One who caused God's name to dwell in this house cause love and brotherhood, peace and camaraderie to dwell among you. And let us say, Amen. Amen. Mazel tov. As we remain standing and turn to page 164 for Tefillah.
Feel
may be seated. We continue on page 173 together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat. We continue on page 178 with Shalom Rav. We continue our prayer now silently, whether we are led by the words on the pages of our Siddur through page 181 in the brackets, or other prayers throughout the prayer book, or those meditations and thoughts in our hearts.
above and blesses all of us. Say shalom, oh say shalom.
עושה שלום במרומיו.
Say shalom.
הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל יושבי תבל. ואמרו
May the one who makes peace above and watches over us help us build a world filled with love. May the one who makes peace above and blesses all of us.
It's my pleasure now to call to the Bema Robin Schaefer, our Sisterhood President, to share some words, followed by the Sisterhood installation.
Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to congratulate all of the people being installed into board positions tonight, and I look forward to working with all of you. A president is only as good as their board. This year I completed my first year as Sisterhood President and my first year working with my board, and I discovered something. I am the best Sisterhood President ever. Okay, so that's not true, but I do have the best board. You've all heard the saying, it takes a village, and the Sisterhood Board is that village. Sisterhood does so many amazing things throughout the year, and the support of the Sisterhood Board is what makes all of those things happen. So here's a little snippet in the life of a Sisterhood Board member. After a long day, she goes to the synagogue to attend a meeting that she really hopes is not going to drag on for too long. Setup and cleanup is needed for an event. She volunteers. Snacks are needed for an event. She volunteers. The food bank is in need. She donates. One of our sisters is feeling under the weather. She reaches out. You get the idea. The Sisterhood Board is a dedicated bunch. They really genuinely care about Addith and our sisterhood, and they work so hard to make sure that our members have a great year. They have my thanks and my gratitude, and I can honestly say that the sisterhood that we know and love would not exist without their hard work. I'm looking forward to working with my board again this year, and who knows, maybe they will make me the best Sisterhood President ever. Shabbat Shalom.
So it's my pleasure to welcome the Sisterhood incoming board to the Bema. As we're able, we rise. On Friday nights, as we usher in Shabbat, there's a traditional blessing called Eshet Chayil, meaning a woman of valor. As we install you tonight, the text of this proverb comes to mind as it praises the woman's strengths, and we think of the various ways you contribute to the strength of our synagogue. So from Eshet Chayil, we read, she spreads out her hand to the poor and extends her hands to the needy. Strength and splendor are her clothing. She speaks words of wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. That's just a small excerpt. Do you accept the office to which you have been elected and pledge yourself to uphold and fulfill your responsibilities? If so, please respond with the Hebrew word hineni.
Hineni.
As you have affirmed your readiness with the Hebrew word hineni, meaning here I am, may you serve the board of Adith Emmanuel Sisterhood with honor, trustworthiness, and dignity, and receive this blessing from Proverbs 31. Rabot banot asu chayil, va'at alit al kulana. Many daughters have attained valor. May you surpass them all. Mazel tov. May be seated. We turn our thoughts and prayers now to those who are in need of healing, and so we turn in our Siddur to page 371 in the middle of the page. If you're joining us through the blessing of technology and you're thinking of someone in your life who's in need of healing, whether it's a healing of the body or mind or spirit, please feel free to add those names to the chat or comments at this time. Those in the sanctuary will have a chance to add names after I share with you these people in our extended Adith Emmanuel family who we send our blessings of healing. Judy Fowler, Shelley Gable, Orly Boudet, Karen Mora, Brian Zabel, Nick Bod, Alice Oppenheimer, Amanda Fink Krasner, Deb Nielsen, Moshe Ben Elizabeth the Theodore, Rosalie Middleman, Jennifer Ness, Mel Klein, George Goldstein, Harriet Eisner, Carla Teisch, Linda Drachman, Chaim Ben David, Eileen Davison, Craig Davison, Hugh Morton, Art Bond, Roberta Levine, Jordan Steinberg, Lisa Galda, Ed Crosby, Myra Kaplan, Jeff Schaefer, Lulu Rivuela, Marion Gwertz, Aaron Tepper, Lily Tepper, Louis Alahat, Tricia Tepper, Carol Schaefer, Mary Mednitsky, Jocelyn Jackson, Jen Jones, Shirley Friedlander, Michael Infanti, Gary Garnick, Ann Marsden, Rick Ulrich, Ileana Cohen, and others whose names we should add at this time.
Michael, Carl, and Josephine Fulham.
Marie Moskowitz, George Bishop.
Baruch Atah Adonai, Rofei HaCholim.
Bless those in need of healing, please hear our prayer. Misha Beiro Avotenu Mekor HaBracha
At this time, it's my pleasure to call to the bema our incoming president of our Board of Trustees, Doug Richter.
I gotta raise these up. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom. First of many. Before I start, I want to thank Diane and all the vice presidents and the Board of Trustees, those who are outgoing, those who are staying on or changing their posts, and those who are new to the board. Thank you also to everyone at Addith who makes this the place that it is. The ECC and the religious school directors and staff, the sisterhood, the men's club. And I want to congratulate Rabbi Memes Fowler on a successful first year, and thank you for all that you do to provide for our spiritual needs, along with Cantor Sandy and Herb and our choir, who help to make our services so musical and beautiful. A huge thank you also to Alex Grumbacher, who does so much to keep everything here at Addith running smoothly. And last but not least, thank you to the custodial and the security staff who provide us with a clean and safe environment. Coming out of the pandemic, we are in very good shape. It could have been a lot worse without the efforts of so many people here at Addith who kept us not only running, but thriving. Judy and I joined Addith in 1999 and enrolled our daughters in ECC and religious school. That was a need that Addith fulfilled for us. Reform Judaism was new to us. We started to meet people and develop friendships. We attended a few brunches and some other events, but Addith was mostly about providing our daughters with a Jewish education. In 2004, I was invited to become a member at large for the Men's Club board. That's when Addith started to become a more important part of my life. I made new acquaintances who quickly became friends and later became like family. In 2009, I became the Men's Club president, which gave me a seat on the Temple board. After holding various positions on the board and attending too many meetings to count, and leading 2 rabbinic search committees along the way, I now find myself stepping up to the presidency. While I was involved in Men's Club and the board, for Judy there was choir and sisterhood. Oh, and there were 3 B'nai Mitzvot, 3 colleges, some grad school, 3 weddings, and a granddaughter in there along the way. Some Lois Levine weekends, an Israel trip, Kehila galas, on and on. And for our girls, there was AFTI under Karen Fetterman-Elner's guidance and leadership. That became a huge part of their lives, and so ours as well. It was with some trepidation that I accepted the challenge of becoming the president. But then I realized that plenty of people were there to support me. There's a saying, if you want something done, ask someone who's busy. As a full-time cardiologist, I think I qualify. But when it comes to getting things done, I prefer the expression that we just heard, it takes a village. A president is the head of the leadership, which implies there are people to lead. Fortunately, many of those people I will be leading have volunteered for their position and consider their responsibilities to be a labor of love. I am very fortunate to have this as my village. Add to that the superstars who are here almost every day, making Adith the amazing place that it is. Rabbi Memis Fowler, Cantor Sandy, Alex Grumbacher, Sisterhood Men's Club, ECC, religious school staff. How can I fail? The answer is easily. You see, everyone I just mentioned is putting in their time and effort for the membership of the congregation. But if the membership doesn't feel connected, doesn't show up, doesn't experience all that we have to offer, and doesn't contribute all that they have to offer, we fail. This brings me to the first thing on my list of presidential goals. Help our members connect or reconnect to Adith and to each other. Everyone joined Adith for some reason. We need to fulfill that need and give everyone more reasons to keep coming back after that. The second thing on my list is related to the first. We need to improve the communication between the synagogue and the membership and among the members themselves. This is harder than you would think, and we've been working at this for years. Emails, Shul Cloud, US Mail, the Bulletin, Facebook groups, phone calls, and still there are members who don't find out about things going on. Now, communication, by definition, requires at least two people. Sometimes one of those people makes communication a challenge. We will keep working at it. The Adith regulars, and we know who we are, think of Adith as warm and welcoming, like a second home. This is where community becomes family. The truth is, though, that feeling is like a great movie or a wonderful vacation. Unless you experience it firsthand, you don't really get it. The clergy, the staff, and the board can only do so much. We need you, the membership, to really make this happen for each other. There are so many things going on here, and we're trying new things all the time to try to provide something for everyone. I mentioned just a few earlier. If you make a conscious effort to attend some events, then you will start to experience the real Adith. When you become a regular here and people start to know your name, you can experience that feeling of being connected. Then the sanctuary feels just a little more spiritual. The friendships feel just a little bit stronger. And your participation in Adith life feels just a little bit more meaningful. Now, I promised myself I was going to keep this short. And frankly, I need to save some material for my High Holy Day speech in September. But I want to address some of the people who have already started asking me about getting certain things done at Adith during my 2-year term. To you I say, become part of the village. There's another saying that I frequently quote. Things work out to the degree that you are willing to be responsible for making things work out. Join Sisterhood, or Men's Club, or a committee that interests you. Make some new acquaintances. They will become friends, and soon will be like family. Find people who enjoy what you enjoy and want the same things at Adith as you. Make it happen. We're here to help. I look forward to working with and having fun with our board, clergy, staff, Sisterhood, Men's Club, etc., and membership. The possibilities are endless. Shabbat Shalom.
It's my pleasure to call up the members of the incoming Board of Trustees. And our board. This Shabbat, we read in the Torah Parshat Korach, the Torah portion of Korach, the man who challenged Moses' leadership. Commentators over the years have taught that Korach did so because he was only interested in power and his own benefit. in contrast to Moses' leadership based on his commitment to God and being the leader for the sake of the community. As we install you tonight, we think of Moses' leadership in partnership with God and for the sake of community, for the sake of the Jewish people. Do you accept the office to which you have been elected and pledge yourself to uphold and fulfill your responsibilities? If so, please respond with the word in Hebrew, hineni.
Hineni.
As you have affirmed your readiness with the Hebrew word hineni, meaning here I am, may you serve Adath Emmanuel's Board of Trustees with honor, trustworthiness, and dignity, and receive this blessing. Mishaberach avotenu ve'imotenu, hu yivarech et anshe chayil ha'eleh. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless these our leaders. Eternal God, may your favor rest upon them. May they inspire us, not only with the confines of this your house, but also when we go forth into the world about us. May the ideals of Judaism take root in their lives and in ours, and yield a rich harvest of deeds done in loving kindness. Here in all the years to come, may the light of your presence shine upon your children in blessing and in peace. And let us say, Amen. Mazel tov. We sing Shahafianu. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, melech haolam, she'ehlianu v'kimanu v'higianu l'zman hazeh. And we remain standing as we turn now in our Siddur to page 586. Page 586 at the bottom of the page, we continue with the words of Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach v'adon hakol, l'zeit genulah v'yoser b'reshit, shelo asanu l'gayei haratzot, v'lo hasamanu k'mizvot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu bahem, v'gor aleinu k'chohamonam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech malchei hamalchim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai l'melech al kol ha'aretz, bayom ha'hu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo
Our thoughts turn now to those who are no longer with us, and so we turn in our Siddur to pages 598 and 599. As we think of our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, and those who have died at the season in years past, if you are joining us through the blessing of technology, feel free to add the names of your loved ones lost into the chat or comments at this time. Those here in the sanctuary will have an opportunity to add names after I share with you the following people whom we're thinking of at this time who are no longer with us. During this period of Shiva and Shloshim, we call to mind the memories of Paz Medel Lutz, Jerry Goldman, father of Ricky Goldman Moraldo, and Mark, grandfather of Jules and Dylan. And we also think of those who died at this season in years past, whose yahrzeits we mark on this Shabbat. Esther Davis, Victor DeMole, Jules Denberg, Arnold Gash, Ethel Goldis, Sarah Hurwitz-Trusky, Abe Kimmel, Celia Kornbluth, Cynthia Kramer, Bill Krasen, Frank Lasella, Ted Lorber, Jack Lutz, Robert Oppenheimer, Gina Rosen-Orant, Louis Rubenstein, Robert Sedell, Faye Solomon, Alexandra Singer, Lou Strumwasser, Donna Walter. And if there are other names we'd like to add at this time, I invite you to rise as you're able and say those names as my hand passes through the congregation. I invite those who are in the period of Shiva and Shloshim, or observing the first year of mourning, to rise at this time. I invite those who are observing a yahrzeit on this Shabbat to rise at this time. We invite the whole congregation to rise now in comfort and support as we draw all these people into our hearts with our own. Zichronam livracha. May their memories be for blessing. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah v'alma divrach hirutei v'amlich malchutei v'chayei chon uv'yomei chon uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael Ba'agala v'zman kari v'imru amen. Yehei shemei rabba mevarach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei dekudasha b'riachu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbachata v'nechamata. Damiran v'yalma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Useh shalom b'mramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved. And let us say, amen. May be seated as I invite Diane Singer to the bima to share with us some announcements, some hodaot.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Diane.
So I have tears, not because I'm stepping down. I still have 7 more days. But it is my father's yahrzeit, so I will compose myself and continue. Thank you, Rabbi Memes Fowler, Cantor Sandy, Herb, the adult choir, for leading tonight's service. Thank you, Robin, for greeting. I don't know where she got to. There she is. Okay, and Judy for setting up Oneg. A special mazel tov to Micah and his family for his upcoming bar mitzvah, and also a special mazel tov to Brooke and her family for her upcoming bat mitzvah. And a special mazel tov to all of our incoming and continuing board members. As always, a special thank you to all of you for joining us this evening. Please join us tomorrow morning at 8:45 for Torah Talk and Bagels, followed by our morning Shabbat service at 10 a.m., when Micah will be called to Torah in honor of his bar mitzvah. Also join us Saturday evening at 5 p.m. for our Mincha service, when Brooke will be called to the Torah in honor of her bat mitzvah. It's been a very busy June, doubles every weekend, so mazel tov to both families. You can begin to bring your donations in for the Sisterhood's rummage sale on Wednesday, July 5th, in room 10. Also, Joe, you stole my line. Look for a mailing. It's Men's Club and Sisterhood the first week of July. Hopefully you will consider joining these worthwhile organizations, as well as AFD, and also the Adeth Emmanuel committees. We're looking for committee members to join us. Please mark your calendars for the following Shabbat services. Next Friday evening is our Pride Shabbat. Saturday, July 8th is Hafdalah in the park at Laurel Acres, and August 19th, that's a Saturday, is our Inclusion Shabbat. Weather permitting, our summer Shabbats will be outside with sharing onegs. Here's an important announcement, hot off the press. Mahjong Mondays will continue till December. And we are also offering evening sessions on Thursday nights, and all levels are welcome. I would also like to share a message from our security guard, Barry, who's not here tonight, but he was here last week. He is grateful for our congregation's support and best wishes while he was out. He truly considers Adeth his family and our members as his family. So this has become his home. Tonight's oneg is in the social hall, and I do have to share a quick story with you. Before I entered the sanctuary this evening, somebody came up to me and asked me if, well, they said Mr. Doug, but I'll say Dr. Doug, okay? We'll still be bringing Mr. Softy for oneg. So I'm here to report to you that I am still going to continue to oversee oneg. So if services should warrant Mr. Softy or Kona Ice, I think we had the one time, we will still be doing that, okay? So I'll take care of that for you, Doug, okay? I know you were all concerned. We actually are having water ice and cotton candy to get in this summer spirit tonight for oneg. So hopefully you'll stay for a few minutes. And tonight's thought for Shabbat is, a leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Our closing song, I've learned, has really become somewhat of an anthem for our congregation. Makom Shalibi Ohet.
The words were on the table on those little pieces of paper about, say, yay big. So if anybody needs them, has them, you can share. I see a lot of people have, so you can share amongst yourselves.
Shabbat
Please join me in Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hahotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'ahon and Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.